So, welcome to the Dance to Oneness podcast. My name is Amy Shine, and today is episode 11. And today's show is Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider. I have a very special guest here, Alison Cox. And Alison Cox is an Access Consciousness facilitator. She's also a Talk to the Entity facilitator, a horse whisperer, and she's a Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider. So, Alison, welcome.
Thanks, Amy.
So, get us started. Like, if someone's listening to this and they're like, Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I didn't know. I still don't know, but it changes all the time. Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider is this amazing class that is a specialty class of Access Consciousness. And it was first created by an amazing man named Gary Douglas, who basically, he grew up with horses, he trained horses, he followed horses in the wild and studied their behavior. He worked with lots of different horse whisperers throughout his life and was just asking questions the whole time. And eventually turned this into a class that facilitators can facilitate all around the world. And it's a class for anybody, whether you are an expert with horses and you are like a show jumper, or you're brand new and you're terrified of horses. It's basically a class that opens the door to a horse world that has not yet existed for you, no matter your level.
I like that. This was one of the classes, that I didn't really pay any attention to in Access for a long time, because my point of view was I'd no background with horse riding. I didn't know anything about horses, and I just didn't really have any interest in it. I just didn't see the value of it. And it was the first time I went horse riding in Costa Rica, at a class we were at. And when I was horse riding, I was like, wow, I kind of was starting to get the energy of, okay, actually horses do really make you be present. Because Gary talks about, everything he learned in life was from a horse. And even just on that 1 hour trail we do, I could see how, I really have to be present here on this horse. And that kind of opened up the door. And then I got curious from that about, okay, I wonder what Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider would be like. And then just even being in Texas at the ranch, being around the horses, wasn't even on them, riding them or anything. It was just being around them. I was like, okay, I need to bring Alison here. I need to talk to her. We had a ranch, my friend's ranch, Tara, down in Southwest Ranches. And I was like, Alison, will you come and do Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider? And that was last year, November last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, around then, yeah.
And you came, and that class, the class isn't about riding horses. It's actually about being with a horse. And that, it blew apart my world. I said to you afterwards, I was like, I've never, the facilitation I received between you and the horses was beyond any facilitation I've ever received, because it was so energetic. It wasn't cognitive,
Yeah, that gives me goosebumps right now, just you talking about it. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about being, and I love what your Dance to Oneness, the title of your show, Dance to Oneness, and being with the earth, or dancing with oneness and the universe and the earth. And horses have such a real, if you're open to it and if you ask questions, they can show you what's true for you. It's not this is how you get to oneness. It's how do you be with oneness? What's your way and what's the horse's way? And you get to kind of show each other and learn from each other and facilitate each other into new possibilities that wouldn't have existed had you not both engaged with each other.
I love that. And one of the things you showed us, this class, Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, is really not about learning some advanced horse riding skills. It's really about the horses facilitating you, like you said, showing you how they be in the world. Background noise, my apologies. How they be in the world. And one of the things, just one of the moments in class that really showed me okay, horses, how present they're willing to be, is when someone was up on the horse and because you do just sit on the horse and just walk a small bit with the horse, and someone was up on the horse and saying go, but the horse wasn't going. but the horse, because she wasn't congruent with what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So could you talk about like how horses are congruent with energy?
Yeah, a horse never lies. So, and we lie all the time. Like I've heard Gary say, like if you're talking, you're lying, basically. So, and that's what it's like always a source of confusion for a lot of people just living or being in the world is like, if people are talking to you, aren't you supposed to believe what they say? Isn't that what they're really saying? Or are they saying the words, but there's a different energy behind the words? And the horses will always show you and facilitate you to expose where you're lying to yourself, why your business isn't like moving, or why your relationships are the way they are, or just how certain things are showing up in your life. They can expose where you are lying to yourself, and also help you acknowledge where you're actually being like powerful in those areas, or where you can be but didn't know it. They're just like a constant facilitation of empowerment, basically.
And like also you talk a lot about, you know, like the conscious horse, conscious rider is about like stepping up and being the leader in your life, and like how horses are always willing to be like the dominant entity and the dominant one. Like, could you talk a small bit as well, like how they can also like show us how to lead?
Right. So if you're riding a horse, so this in the classes, you can either, you do not have to get on the horse at all, or you can explore what it is like to be on a horse and work with the horse. So if you're riding a horse, you basically don't want the horse to be leading the situation. Like it empowers you to be the leader of either you can, let's say the horse is your life and you're living, and you are the creator of your life or the leader. And you can either let life or this reality take you for a ride and it can go wherever it wants. Does that work for you? And if it does, great. Or would you like to ask questions and actually ask and receive, like, hey, I would like to go right now. I would like to go left. What if we go over here? This is where we're going to go now. Would you be willing to do this? It kind of shows you where you can be the leader and the director of where your life is going and where you would like to be asking. And a horse will do that same thing. If you're not actually being the energy of that invitation to move or go right or left or whatever, or jump over something, if you're not willing to be the leader of that and you're scared and you'd rather let something else be the leader so that you can go where it would like to go, the horse will show you where you're willing to be a leader and where you're not. If any of that just made sense.
No, it really does. Like, I mean, just like the horse shows you so much energetically. It's not even cognitive.
Yeah. And it's not about,
but they're just so clear.
Yeah, it's not about force. Like, we're going to go right or left now. It's like, if you're going to jump over something with a horse, you have to be so much space and you have to have that horse's back in order for the horse to have your back. Because if the horse doesn't feel like you have its back and you're about to jump over something, believe me, that horse is not going to jump over. So it is like a communion and a cooperation of two beings working together.
Yeah, and I think that's what one of the biggest changes I got from that class when I took it with you was like the communion that the horse showed me that was possible between me and him or me and her, but also like between bodies. Like It actually facilitated my body massively. My body went through so much change from that class and after that class.
Did it? That's
awesome. Yeah. So like what got you into conscious horse, conscious rider, Alison?
I did not get to grow up with horses. My family, that wasn't even like a possibility. Like, that was way too much money. That's not for our type of Midwest family. Like, yeah, right. We live in the suburbs, but I'd always get my family to drive past horses or stop and talk to horses, give them carrots or something. And I was constantly drawing them. I was obsessed with horses. Flash forward to a few years ago, I kind of got to a point in my life where about 3 to 4 years ago, where I like everything was getting better. It was getting greater, but there was something missing. And I was like, God, I just need like a new adventure. Is there something that I've always wanted or asked for that just I haven't really asked for yet or gave up on. And so I was like, what did I want to do as a kid? And so all of a sudden I was like, horses. I wanted to be with horses all day, every day. I'm like, so I think it was New Year's. I just wrote down like a list of things I wanted to ask for the year, and being with horses every day was one of them. And I didn't know how that was going to show up or when it was going to show up. But just a few weeks later, I met some people who asked me questions and kind of told me what they were doing. And I ended up getting into equine massage therapy, and then access consciousness, conscious horse, conscious rider started to blow up then in my world. I was like, oh, I could do that. There isn't anything you can't do. So what would it take to do this? And step by step, I became Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider Facilitator, and it's still facilitating my life in so many ways. It's a true gift.
Yeah, and I've even witnessed you know, like just change so much just from being around the horses and facilitating it and including them in your life. That's so cool. That question you asked, what is it that I wanted to do or I gave up on that I never actually chose?
Yeah.
Whatever way you put it, that was a great question to ask.
Yeah.
Wow. And look what got created from it. Just acknowledging as a child you loved horses.
Yeah. That was it. The dream that could never come true. That did.
Yeah, that's amazing. What dream did I have that never came true that I could have now if I asked for it? And you didn't have a conclusion of how it would show up, because it didn't really show up. You didn't like go out and start horse riding or anything right away. You started with massage, and then even Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider isn't about riding a horse. It's about, like you always say, it's about being with the horse.
Yep. Yeah. And it's really about knowing what you know. So it's not like you learn these different steps of how to do this thing and you have to get it right. And once you get it right in this structured way, then you are an expert. It's like, no, you get to start exploring what you know. And it is a dance with you and the horse. It is like, you're not just following steps, you are exploring. You are a pioneer of a new possibility with the horses and yourself.
I love that. So you have Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider classes coming up. Do you want to let anyone know listening where they can find you?
Yeah.
Where your classes are?
We have one coming up in your neck of the woods next month in Southwest Ranches. I almost said California, not California. Other side of the United States in Florida on November 14th and 15th. I'm so excited because it's been COVID quarantine. If you listen to this 500 years from now, this was a very interesting time and everything's been kind of shut down. So we're lucky enough to have this class in Florida in the beautiful weather and
outside.
It'll be outside. It'll be nice.
It's actually 3 weeks from now, the classes, I think.
3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And usually these classes, there's other facilitators all around the world too. And usually we get to travel everywhere and do these, but right now we're a little bit limited on where we can go. So look for more classes on conscioushorse.consciousrider.com or accessconsciousness.com/Alison Cox. There's all the classes there too with me.
Yeah, and I also like in the description included your website, a link to the class in Florida. And if you click on the class in Florida, it'll bring you to the Access Consciousness website, which can also, you can go around. From there, you can also find Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider's main page.
Yeah, you
can look up different facilitators in your country. So yeah, I'm excited to have you back here again.
I'm so excited.
And if there is someone like wondering about Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, I know a lot of people kind of go into like, either people go into I know everything about a horse already because I have already ridden horses, or people go into the opposite energy, which is I don't really know anything about horses and I don't, so why would I take that class? What would you just say to those two energies?
Oh my gosh, both are awesome. And it's like, if you think you know everything about horses, you're definitely lying. You could say, okay, what don't I know about horses? And the horses will show you in one way or another. The horses are great at facilitating. And they will always show you something new. There is no end to what horses can show you, whether you have been with horses and you're like 105 years old and you know everything, there's still more to learn. If you don't know anything and you think there's no way you could know anything, that's also something you could go and ask the horses, even start on the other side of the fence. Like, hey, can you guys show me something that could you surprise me? Could you show me something beautiful? Could you show me something I don't know? Or what can I receive from you today I've never considered? And see what they show you, because there is no right way to be with a horse or do riding or any of that stuff. And there's always something new, whether you know horses or you don't know horses.
I love that. There is no right way, but yet that's one of the areas people do a lot of rightness.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of points of views around what you should or shouldn't do with a horse, which is brilliant, because Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider class is kind of like more about being in the question and that like curiosity you just said. So what are some of the questions when you go play with horses that you ask?
So it's so funny that you say that too, because like going to take lessons, I take lessons sometimes, and it's so fun just to be interesting point of view with everything that the trainer or the coach is saying, like, keep your heels down and do this, do that. You're like, okay, I think I'm doing it. And then taking what you know, taking what works from you from that, and then playing with the tools and the questions of Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, or just asking the horse, like, hey, horse, can you show my body, like, what is it for me to ride? Like, what does my body know? What does your body know? What can your body show me, and what can my body show you? And how can we ride together in a way that we've never done before? Like, what else is possible here? This is in the future. Maybe you can help me create like the first one of this, but there's a class that I'm going to create. Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider will be a prerequisite, but it's called Riding with the Earth. So there's a way that animals be with the earth. They walk with the earth. They run with the earth. They be with the earth. Humans don't always walk with the earth. They sometimes walk on the earth or dance on the earth. And you invite people to dance with the earth as well. So it's like you can ask horses when you're riding them or being around them, like, hey, what is it to ride with the earth? What is it to be with the earth? Can you show my body? And what does my body know that it can show you that you've never considered? Because we also can show, we have the capacity, we know what we know, and we can share that with other beings, energies, entities, horses, everything, other bodies. So it's this whole new world of knowledge to explore when we start sharing and being and cooperating and communing with each other. Oops, you're muted. Oh.
Yeah, I do that on purpose because the lawnmower guy decides to come right when I'm doing a podcast right outside my window. So, Alison, that's amazing. I love all those questions. And like, do you also, and I love that, riding with the earth. That sounds amazing. I'm already in the class. I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah.
And so also like, what kind of questions, just to finish up, like for people, like say, if you're just like around a horse, you're not necessarily riding the horse, maybe your friends has a horse, or you're just like at a ranch or something and you're just like next to the horse or you're patting the horse, what's a question you could ask then to be shown? Like what kind of things you ask the horse to show you there?
Yeah, I would just say hello. First I would say hello, what's up? Do you want to play with me? Do you want to play with me? Can I play with you? Do I want to play with you today? Am I in the mood? Like, it's not just, will you choose me? Like, you are the choosing one also. So maybe you're just not in the mood to be around horses, or maybe you are. And so just kind of like take a deep breath, be like, okay, what could we create today that has never been possible before? Or just even saying hello and seeing what the horse has to show you. Like, hey, show me something. What would you like to do or be today? Can you show me an energy I've never seen before, felt before, perceived before? And just start going from there.
I love that question. Can you show me an energy I've never seen or been before?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Okay, Alison, I absolutely adore having this conversation with you.
I like the lawnmower too.
Oh my God. Always perfect timing, they know.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on and thanks for sharing these questions. I'm actually going to re-listen to this because there's so many questions in this. Right. And I'm excited to have you here in Florida in a couple of weeks. And this class also has no prereqs, right?
No
for
prerequisites.
conscious horse. So you don't need to have taken bars or any other access class. Anyone can come.
Bars, you don't need a horse. You don't need anything.
Yeah, you just need a body
You just
and
need
some
money.
money.
I need some money.
and and it's actually one of like the lower price classes in access. That's when I like took that class finally with you last year. I was like, Alison, like this class is like the lowest price class in access nearly, and it's like the most change I've ever received.
Totally.
And like I know, and I'm like, oh my god. And then also like just for people to know too, like I have like some people who are interested too, and they didn't realize your kids can come for free. Like kids under 16 are free for all access classes.
Yes.
So if you had like you know, your kids want to come as well, because it's an amazing kind of family class as well.
Yeah, man, kids and horses is just a whole different world, whole different universe. They're awesome.
Yeah, they are, because they just don't have any of that fear, or they don't have any of those points of views. It's funny, Megan Hill, you know, she's like, she like works for Access Consciousness. She's like the marketing guru for Access. She just posted a video on her Facebook. It was of her son Tristan, who was horse riding in Costa Rica last year, and like him and another young boy are just on a horse, both on their own horse, and they're like just taking off across. It's El Lugar. They're taking off across the field, and they're like galloping, and they're like so free. And I'm like, whoa! Like they have no fear, no point of view. They're not trying to slow the horse down. They're not trying to control. Like they're totally being with the horse. So it was just an amazing visual.
I think that was one of his first times running with the horse too, and Megan was like, okay.
Yeah, she's like
woo. And she's just awesome at being interesting point of view and go for it. So what a cool combo.
Yeah, it was an amazing video to watch. So so thanks for coming on, Alison. Again, if people want to find you, you're Alison, www.alisoncox. Is it?
It's myacousticlife.com for now.
Okay, My Acoustic Life, and it's in the descriptions, and people can find you on Facebook too.
Correct.
Alison Cox on Facebook, and you have a business page here on Facebook. Yeah, and so if you have any questions for her after this show, you can always reach out to her, find her on her website or on Facebook.
Thanks so much, Amy.
Thank you.
I can't wait
We'll
to
see you again. Bye.
Bye.